Hello, it is I, Sir Devon Kang. Welcome back to another video. Today I will be talking about another next step fan fiction that I've created. So I did a video a couple of weeks back, said how I would write the next step. Um, but this I've decided to have a continuation. So this, uh, which is called Emily and Michelle Hit the Floor, sort of World Tour, because they're still recovering from coronavirus. But this film, it's it has a nicer tone than um has a softer tone than the my other next step fan fiction. Well, when I say softer, later on in the movie it takes a turn, shall we say? Don't worry, nothing bad happens. So So this takes place during the other next step video, so do check that out in this canon. So the year's about 2023. So Ellie and Michelle, after the pandemic, start a new dance tour like they promised in season 8. They bring out A and B troopers. So the people who make the next steps dance cut is, so those who didn't make the auditions that Amy held. So Kingsley, so Grace, Henry, and Maya. Um, Kingsley and Kingston returned from Paris to join the tour, and Kingston left his job as a police officer to have Ozzy and Izzy. Oh, damn, a continuity error here. Sorry, folks. B and her brother Joe join Matt and Jeff, who were two new dancers named after the Hardy Boys. Davis joins, having had enough of living under Jackie's shadow. Lucy's family moved to Canada after the pandemic. And so the tour starts off in North America. So their first dance is in Canada. The audience in Toronto, the audience is overjoyed. Some parents, however, are not happy with their children going on tour. Kenzie stands up to them and makes a speech telling their parents that their kids have wanted to do this after the pandemic, and the parents accept and do what is right for their child. So the tour starts off and many people go to see them dance. That's really enjoying the tour until Grace catches COVID. So all the dancers have to quarantine in a hotel and are all angry at life. They all talk about their suffering and how their mental health has been affected by the pandemic. After the quarantine is over, the dancers continue on their tour. After Canada, they go to Australia and New Zealand. And can we have a lot of celebrity cameos, please? Like a Neighbours actor and Tamora Morrison. And while they're in New Zealand, they stop at the Polynesian Spa. So then in the UK, then they go to the UK. Lucy shows them around Britain and runs into her ex. Maya tells Lucy to forget about him, and Lucy forgets about her ex. When they go back to Canada, Emily and Michelle meet a man in a cafe. His name is Larry. Larry is a traveller of sorts, and he's desperate to get home. Emily and Michelle offer to help him, but Michelle and Emily discuss whether to take him in or not. They choose not to help him, but later on that night, they all watch the Next Steps Internationals win in Japan. They're all overjoyed. Then, a day later, they see that a fire has destroyed the Next Step dance studio. Michelle goes and sees what happened. And then she sees what looks like a man on the top of a building, and that man flashes away. Michelle talks to someone about which is trying to ponder if this was done deliberately. So Riley's going to return, and she invites Emily's tour. Emily's dancers to perform at the launch of their new product called Gateway. When they get there, the dancers see what Riley has done, and they meet the project leader, Harry Wells. See where this is going? He and Riley explain that Gateway is something that can explore other dimensions. A man also comes and tells Harry and Riley that the gateway must not be opened, or you'll destroy the multiverse. And the man that says that this is gonna be insane. He's a doctor. You're all gonna I know you're all gonna write in the comments now, but you can't a crossover with the next step in Doctor Who? Are you serious? Another one? Well, wait till you see what happens in the next paragraph. So the dance performance is enjoyed by all until the lights go out. That wasn't a power outage, explained Harry. Exclaimed. He is right. A masked man turns up. He tells Riley to activate it. Someone threatens to call the police. And this is the villain known as Zoom from The Flash. So, for those who haven't seen The Flash season 2, mute it right now, skip this bit, because there's going to be a lot of spoilers. So, Zoom is also a man called Hunter Zolomon. Hunter Zolomon was posing as Larry. He was also the man who warned Amy about the fire that'll happen at the next step. Anywho, sorry. So, he tells Riley to activate it, and someone threatens to call the police. But the man runs, and I'm sorry, everyone. He kills James. Riley is devastated by this, and she gets angry. But the man who told Harry not to activate the gateway stops him and tells no one needs to die. The doctor says, the doctor says that no one needs to die. Sorry. The man says, "It's a pity that your dancer friends didn't die." Emily and Michelle realise that he was the one who started the fire. The man offers to help him, but he refuses. He runs towards Harry and looks him up and down. "You will activate gateway." Harry does so. The gateway opens. A massive portal is open. Everyone is scared. Zoom runs into the gateway and Harry closes it. The dancers are, of course, devastated by what just happened because he's been there since day one. And James laying on the floor and Riley going to see him. Riley tells Emily that she's going to have a family with James, and James was Riley's world, and there are lots. I want this to have a lot of jolly flashbacks and their highlights. And then the end is at James's funeral. Everyone is close to tears, and all of the old A Troopers, so the season 1 dancers from the very first season, show up and say goodbye to James because he had played a massive part in the Next Step history, and Riley's business shuts down. But she now works with Emily and Michelle as their business consultant, and so their tour continues. So, Easter egg time. So Matt and Jeff are named after the Hardy Boys, who were 2 wrestlers. And then Lucy is named after a character that a Next Step YouTuber created when she was doing a Next Step character creation quiz, I think. To notice the UK thing. So this takes place at the same time as the Next Step. If I wrote the Next Step. So their internationals win in Japan. So I'm gonna. So Harry Wells is, of course, is named after Harrison. Is their version of a Harrison Wells. If you've watched The Flash, then you'll know that there's a lot of Harrison Welleses. Um. So the man that says no one else needs to die is the Doctor. I'm thinking more of this being the 10th Doctor or 11th. Um, um, so let me tell you about Zoom. So when Zoom came about, in an episode of The Flash, there was a sort of time travel thing where Nora and Barry traveled through time. And then at the Zoom bit, he catches them up in the Speed Force, and then he just falls out of the Speed Force at some point. So I'm thinking he actually went to another dimension, and the gateway is the way back um to the Flash dimension. And he's also yeah, is that all the references? I think. Yeah. So, what do you think of this fan fiction? I know the James decision was very controversial, and I know that um, a lot of you won't be happy with the James just killing off James. But all I will say is, happened to Tony Stark. We all cried. Fives. We all cried. Oh, although a lot of Star Wars fans probably cried. Um, Han Solo died. Spock in, well, he didn't die really, but Spock's death in no, Kirk's death in Star Trek Generations was sad. I'm just naming a lot of examples here. I think Data's death was pretty sad. Yeah, Data's death before Picard happened. So yeah, that just about ends this video. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more. Comment down below what you think. And share this with other Next Step fans. So, goodbye, good night, too sweet.